why I think a lot of people are not really grateful. A lot of bros whining because they want the validation, they want the dopamine, they want the little like, oh, people care about me, all that type of stuff as well. And do I blame them really? I don't really blame them. As I said, it goes back to kind of programming, all that type of stuff as well, to be thinking that's okay. But in reality, in general, like, yo, you can't be doing that. Like, and then YouTube, welcome back to another One's video, and today we got another banger video. As you guys can see in the title, we're going to talk about wherever you are right now, yes, right now, be grateful. Be grateful. And before getting into the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff as well. And yeah, let's just get straight into it, man, at the end of the day. So what do I mean by this about being grateful, all that type of stuff as well? Because as I said, this is more of an easier said than done type of topic, because everyone can say, oh, I want to do this or do this or that type of stuff as well. But it's all about actually putting the actual effort in and all that type of stuff. But what I mean by be grateful and stuff like that, I'm sure you guys probably see, if you guys watch like different types of self-improvement type of videos, or you know, you kind of watch these type of motivational videos, all that type of stuff, I'm sure you see a lot of people say you have to be grateful and all that type of stuff. And it is really true. It's absolutely true why you need to be grateful and stuff like that. And before I actually get to the points that I do on my notebook of why you need to be grateful, I'm going to talk about my experience of like gratefulness and all that type of stuff, because I was never really a grateful person, I'll be honest. I was never really a person that was properly grateful, if that makes sense. Like, I was obviously, like, to some extent I was grateful, but not to the full extent, if that makes sense. Like, I was times where like, oh, there's difficulties in my life, or I was overweight, or you know, I wasn't looking the best and stuff like that. My life was difficult at some point, and then I was like, oh, you know, well, I wish I had this, I wish I had this, I wish I had this. Like, I'm sure you guys probably experienced it yourself, so I'm sure you guys relate to me, where you're like, you wish I had this, wish. That's all it is. You just wish. Oh, I wish I was living this guy's life. Like, I was comparing myself to others a lot. That's what I was doing. I was literally comparing myself to others a lot. And that approach is not healthy, guys. I don't believe that approach is really good, because at the end of the day, I look at it now that, yo, the opportunity you guys are right now, not just me, like everyone that's watching this video, the fact you even watching this video, you should be grateful already. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even on any ego type of shit, basically, literally, because you have a phone or device that you're watching on, you know, you have electricity, you know, you have running water, you have a roof under your head, you know, you got food, your bills are paid, all that type of stuff. And people need to realize that, cool, yeah, like, life is difficult. Like, the UK is falling apart. A lot, like, society is falling apart, let's be honest. But at the end of the day, we're still privileged. We are still privileged to a certain extent. We are still privileged. Like, at the end of the day, like, the fact that we are living and, you know, we have the opportunity to become successful. I'm not saying everyone's going to become successful, because that's never going to happen. But the opportunity to become successful is the most important bit. And a lot of people who are not maybe born in the UK, or born in like first world countries, as they say, and, you know, privileged opportunities, they would kill to be in a position. But I want to talk about, because I've been starting to pray a lot more, and I'll say, would I say I'm religious? I'm not saying I'm a proper religious person, I'll be honest. Like, I do believe in God and all that type of stuff, I 100% do. But in terms of like proper going to the next step, in terms of religion, like going to church every Sunday and all that type of stuff, I started praying a lot more. And, you know, I've been slacking on praying and all that type of stuff in the past and all that type of stuff. But in the last probably month or so, I've been praying a lot, like at least twice a day and all that type of stuff, morning and night, just being grateful. Like, I generally believe that if you ask for like God for things and stuff like that, I don't think that's the right approach to doing it. Like, as long as you're being grateful, as long as like, listen, like, cool, my life is difficult at the moment, but I'm just grateful that you're giving me the opportunity to, you know, handle this, being the opportunity to making sure that in the future that I could be well round and well off and all that type of stuff as well. And you get what I'm saying? Like, literally, just go on my first point, when it says that people focus on the don'ts. So people focus on the don't haves rather than the do have. So that's kind of goes back to my point and all that stuff, because people focus on, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I had this, I wish I had this. But no one ever focuses on the positives. And it's like a psychological thing where that literally, you know, how do I put this? It's like a psychological thing where like, yo, like, the negatives outweigh the positives, if that makes sense. Like, you can have 5 things that are so positive in your life, right? You can have 5 things that are so positive, right? And there's maybe 1 or 2 negatives. Oh, you know what? That's gonna override me, for example. Say, actually, I'll give you an example. Say, for example, you know, I don't know. I'm just gonna break a generic type of thing. So, say you're making 200k a year. You have a family and kids. You're married to your beautiful wife or husband in this instance. Depends on who's watching. You're free. You get to do whatever you want. You have a good job, and you have a good circle around you. But maybe negative is that maybe you're overweight, or something happens, something like that. I don't know. Maybe a negative happens, right? People just focus on that negative only. People never focus on what other type of stuff that they have. Like, obviously, like, you should aim to have everything positive, but I think that's unrealistic. Everyone has negatives, everyone has weaknesses and all that type of stuff. So at the end of the day, like, people just focus on the negatives too much and just focus on the positives. Like, you're there, you get to speak, you're there, you're breathing, and you're alright, you have any health problems at the moment. Hopefully you guys don't, God forbid you guys do have any health problems or anything like that, but you get the picture. Like, you're healthy, you're eating, you have a roof over your head, all that type of stuff. And negatives is obviously, you can't afford this and all that stuff. So, but at the end of the day, just be grateful, and I promise you guys that it will make you so much better. It will make you so much better. And at the end of the day, that doesn't mean, right? All I'm saying, that does not mean you have to slacken. That doesn't mean you have to be like, okay, well, if I just focus on the positives, I can never sort out the negatives. I'm saying sort out the negatives, but just have that thing in the back of your mind that, I am grateful for where I am right now, because a lot of people would kill to be in my position, man. And that goes to my second point. Someone would actually kill to be in your position right now. Someone who's living, and I'm sure you hear these people like, oh, you know what? My parents used to tell me all this time, man. I used to, like, when I was a kid, I used to eat food and all that stuff as well, and I used to waste food all the time, right? I was like, oh, what about the people in Africa? They would eat that. Or what about the people in Asia? They would eat that. And I used to get pissed off by that. I'm like, well, I'm not them, But in reality, there is some sort of truth to it, you know what I'm saying? There is actually some sort of truth to it. Well, I'm not saying in terms of that aspect, like, you know what I'm saying, it is a bit annoying, but in the general scheme of things, people, right, say for example, you have a decent stable job and stuff as well. There is someone out there that maybe looks like you as well. They might even have the same, build as you. I don't know, right? They might be like, I wish I had that job, man. They'll fight tooth and nail to get that job. And even if that job's really bad, they'll still fight tooth and nail to get that job, because it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to get to the next step. It's an opportunity to have some light at the end of the tunnel where they're like, I could actually become successful. I could actually fulfill my potential. I can actually provide for my wife and kids. All that type of stuff as well. Like, I don't think, like, it's so important. Like, honestly, it's just a really important thing, man, because a lot of people, wish, like, don't have the opportunity, and those are the people I do feel sorry for the most, because I'll be honest, if people have the opportunity and they start complaining, they start whining, they start being like, I can't do this, starts crying, I'm like, all right, cool, I get it, like, it is really difficult and all that stuff as well. I'm not telling you not to moan or all that type of stuff. You have every right to do that, but I'm just saying that look at the grand scheme of things, that someone, you at least have the opportunity. Like, I'd get it from someone that doesn't even have the opportunity at all, doesn't even have the even opportunity to even do what they need to do, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that, someone would kill to be in your position as well. Like, even if it's hard to, like, think about it, someone would definitely kill to be in your position right now. And going back to my third point, I want to say is that you have the opportunity. Going to the last point I want to say is that the reason why I do think, because people always want to complain, because I think a lot of people want to have validation. I think a lot of people do want to get validation. I know I used to fall for the trap as well. I used to maybe make up stories or make up negative stories or kind of overreact on these stories just to get validation from people. Oh, it's going to be all right. Oh, you know what? Don't worry. This is going to happen. All this, But in reality, like, listen, goes back to my few videos, nobody's coming to save you, and that is absolutely true. But here right now, man, like, I think that's the reason why I think a lot of people are not really grateful. A lot of people is whining because they want the validation, they want the dopamine, they want the little, like, people care about me and all that type of stuff as well. And do I blame them, really? I don't really blame them. As I said, it goes back to kind of programming, all that type of stuff as well, to be thinking that's okay. But in reality, in general, like, you can't be doing that. Like, at the end of the day, you have to realize that, you can't over-exaggerate your things, because at the end of the day, no one's coming to save you. At the end of the day, you just got to be grateful for where you're at anyway, wherever you're at anyway. So that's going to conclude today's video anyway. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff as well. And yeah, peace.